Before I start the official welcoming of our guest, I have a few slides to share with you. Um, my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So, as I mentioned today, we are launching our overseas education program. So, in the preceding slides, I will be discussing about what are the major takeaways under this program. So today, actually this week is our admission into grade 11 career fest is actually going on. So we have a series of events lined up along with our overseas education and university partners. So as a day one today, we have our partners from Houghton Academy in the United States, as well as Campus France. So just to introduce the legacy of DCM Group of Schools, this institution, this organization was established in 1946 by a great visionary, Mr. M.R. Das. He was the founder principal and the founder of this institution. That is, the legacy has been carried out by our current director, Ms. Kanta Gupta. And these days, the institution is headed by our CEO, Mr. Anirudh Gupta. So throughout these 3 generations, DCM Group of Schools stick to one motivation, that is about giving excellent education to thousands of pupils in the northern part of India. So ever since the inception starting in 1946 till to date, this motivation has never been compromised. And today, myself and every other people who are working for the institution, we joined this program and we keep the same motivation and inspiration to take this institution's aim forward. So under the overseas education program, our main aim is to create a pool of global citizens. So instead of only delivering core academic programs, we have a plethora of activities that includes scholastic activities, whether it is sport, technology, entrepreneurship. A plethora of activities are being offered to the children. But what it comes under overseas education program is something that we offer to students from grade 9 to 12. Elementary education, as you know, from grade nursery to grade 5, this is a segment that we really put a lot of focus on in order to create self-learners who would be motivated and become enthusiastic about looking for information rather than focused in the rote learning process. So under this overseas education program, the main elements are personality grooming and language skills, especially English language skills. Our schools are completely 100% English medium schools, but still refining their language skills is of extreme importance, especially when the students are going for education abroad. And another important aspect is entrepreneurship skills. As now we know that the entire world is talking about startups and entrepreneurship possibilities. In our schools, we provide incubation centers in all our branches so that the students will be able to come up with their own ideas, and they will be supported both in terms of infrastructure as well as in terms of seed funding for realizing their ideas into prototypes. And then another aspect, as most of you know, that when you're going abroad for your higher education, Ielts certification is mandatory. So this is a program that we are starting within the DCM Group of schools, so that students during their grade 11th and 12th period of time, they can actually qualify for their Ielts exam score. And a broader aspect of international exposure with various programs, as well as virtual internship programs with international universities. So the main aspect is in-house career guidance and psychometric analysis. What are these aspects good for? So this is actually the first and foremost is to help the students to choose the right stream at the time of their admission in grade 11. Students might have, mixed information from different sources, which stream to use, and if I choose one particular stream, what sort of higher education or career path I can choose. Here, through this combination of psychometric analysis, that we help the students to choose the right stream in their education, stream in grade 11, as well as in grade 12, to choose the best higher education institute of programs after their studies in grade 12. These are the two main angles that we actually offer under this overseas education program. And one of our main partners is IDP. You must know that IDP is a co-owner of Ielts along with the British Council. So through the partnership, we will be providing Ielts training during the school years so that the students do not have to go outside of the school campus to any outside agencies to get trained for the Ielts training. That will be provided within the school. And we are working very closely with IDP so that DCM will be soon become the nodal center for IDP. That means our students will be able to write exams within our school campuses. So these programs are offered within the year 11th and grade 12th. So IDP, as a partner, they will be providing master classes by their specialists so that our students will be able to know how to score, get the idea about how to score well in Ielts exams in the first attempt. In addition to this, IDP actually partnered with more than 500 universities mostly in the Anglophone world, and they will be providing personalized assistance to our students during this admission process. Next, we have our team today have joined in the meeting, Houghton Academy in Buffalo, New York. They are providing an American high school diploma for students studying in grade 9 to grade 12. So what this offers is that the students, if parents or students are interested, they can simultaneously pursue CBSE curriculum in India as well as the American high school diploma. This is spanned over 4 years period of time. Students can join this program starting from grade 9 to grade 12. So that by the time of grade 12, when they finish their CBSE exam, they will be equipped with American high school diploma. I just found this beautiful image from your website, Jonathan. So that's a Houghton Academy, and it's in Buffalo. It's upstate New York, and it's a beautiful place. What Houghton Academy is offering, they will describe this in detail later, is that the students, if they are interested, they can even join the campus physically to complete their studies. It's a beautiful town. This is a city of Buffalo, and this everybody knows. This is the Niagara Falls, not very far from Houghton Academy. And another of our partner is University of South Australia, who will be coming on board tomorrow to give more details about the programs they are offering. So under the partnership with the University of South Australia, we'll be offering grooming sessions for students from grade 9 to 12, as well as 100% support in the entire admission process. In addition to this, University of South Australia, what they have offered us is possibility of providing us with guest faculty who will be visiting our campus to interact with our students. So this will help our students to groom themselves for their studies abroad. And another of our guests today, Ms. Nidhi Chopra, he's the manager of Campus France. And you might know that France is one of the popular destinations in higher education internationally. And one major advantage in choosing French universities is that they offer subsidized tuition, even for international students. And Campus France is a government organization supported by the Embassy of France, would give 100% support in the entire application process and admission process. And in parallel, we also have affiliation with Alliance Française, who is the agency that promotes French language and culture in non-Francophone countries, who are also on board with us. They will be hand-holding our students for their, preparing them for their life in France. So, so these are a few glimpses that I wanted to share with all of you who are watching this program. And what we call it as a study abroad clinic at DCM. In the nutshell, what we will be providing you is a free career guidance, in association with all these partners that I have described today. There are many more, in line, that due to lack of time, that I will not be able to list all of them here. And 100% support in the process of admission and relocation through our alumni network. So you must have heard that we have our alumni in almost every part of the world. So we are creating this strong web of network through which we will be providing the end-to-end support and guidance to all our DCM students. So with this, I welcome all of you to this program, especially our keynote speaker, our CEO, Mr. Anirudh Gupta, and Mr. Jonathan Retz, the head of Houghton Academy in New York, and Thomas, the Vice President of Global Student Exchange Program, and last but not least, Ms. Nidhi Chopra. She's the manager of Campus France in Chandigarh. So welcome all of you to this program, and back to you, Hidayat.
Thank you, sir, for sharing all of us with what OEP is all about and n number of opportunities that we are providing to our students. At this virtual launch of OEP, I would like to invite Mr. Anirudh Gupta, the dynamic and visionary CEO of DCM Group of Schools, to announce the launch of this program and to share his keynote with us. I welcome you, sir.
A very good afternoon to all the viewers, our guests from United States, Thomas and Jonathan. A very good morning to you. Nidhi from Chandigarh. My greetings to you, Nidhi. I hope you are doing well. And my greetings to all our principals, deputy principals, VPs, and the entire DCM fraternity who have joined us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely pleased to formally launch the Overseas Education Program of DCM Group of Schools. This is yet another flagship initiative of DCM Group of Schools to mark its 75 glorious years dedicated to the cause of education. All of you are aware of this is our Platinum Jubilee year, and in midst of these pandemic times, we are constantly trying and making all-out endeavor to reach out to every single child to meet the growing aspirations of those students who are wanting to study abroad post-pandemic, and making every possible initiative. It might be related to information technology, launching of TED clubs, launching of Model United Nations chapter, any kind of transformational pedagogy we are trying in a virtual world, possible step for assessments, for career counseling and guidance. So no stone is being left unturned when it comes to the cause of education for our dear students. Dear friends, as we all know, the number of students seeking admission in colleges and universities, various parts of the world, which was just 60,000 2 decades ago, has grown to almost 7.5 lakh today. Out of over 5 million students, global students, belonging to various communities, various countries, various subcontinents, who are studying in various other parts of the globe, 7.5 lakh belong to India only. And India is just second to China in terms of its students studying in various parts of the world. And earlier we used to see the students, they used to go to study abroad in United States, in UK, in France, in Australia, to do their post-graduation studies or to do research or specialization. However, few years ago, the trend changed and a lot of students started aspiring to go abroad to do their undergrad programs. And now, in furtherance of the trend, we see a lot of students aspiring to go and study in high schools in various parts of the world. So, in order to meet those aspirations and to facilitate this journey of students to go and study in various top-notch universities, colleges across the globe, DCM has launched this initiative called OEP, Overseas Education Program. As you know, DCM believes in overall development of the students, and I was talking about various initiatives for their personality development, for their understanding of various socio-economic issues. So we have been organizing whatever relevant training sessions and providing grouping to our students to prepare them for life in an internationally competent world. And this is in line with our vision and mission to create a pool of well-groomed global citizens instead of just creating rote learners. We are in 21st century. The entire gamut of things have changed. The entire perception of education has changed. We have taken a giant leap forward, a paradigm shift from memorization, rote learning, stereotypes, formal system of education to a more, a multidisciplinary, vocational, skill-based model of education. And in sync with our new national education policy, we are, adapting to all those changes sooner than, anybody can think of. So in regard to this overseas education program, as Dr. Gopan just mentioned, so not only we have tie-up with the best of universities in various parts of the world, we are also providing them guidance, counseling to help them understand what will be the best destination for them to fulfill their aspirations of the quality education they are looking for. Our tie-up with Houghton Academy is also a step in that direction, where the students who are aspiring to go to United States to join high school. So this is a program in which, while studying in DCM, studying in a senior secondary department here, they can also simultaneously do American high school diploma. So that is the silver lining of this pandemic time, that most of the college and universities and schools, everybody has gone into a virtual world, and this acted as a catalyst and unleashed these the possibility of offering online high school diplomas. So I will suggest most of the students who are keen to study abroad, especially in the United States, and they are willing to join high school, so they can, while studying in DCM, they can simultaneously do these high school diplomas, and eventually if they wish or continue their studies there, so they can go for undergrad and postgrad grad studies eventually. So I'm extremely happy that we are taking this step today, and I'm sure that the students will be able to make the best utilization of these facilities being offered by DCM. And all these institutions, whether it is Houghton Academy or it is Campus France or any other educational entity we have tied up with, they are the best in their own respective areas. Like Houghton Academy has legacy of more than 150 years. Likewise, the government of France is offering a lot of scholarships. There's a very bright future for Indian students aspiring and already studying in that part of the world. So this process will continue. We will not pause, stop, or relent till the time we are able to meet all aspirations of our students. We are able to provide them the best possible resources, guidance, and support. As you know, in the last 75 years, we have produced glorious results. We have thousands of students who have already been very, very successful in life. They are successful bureaucrats, army officers, businessmen, doctors. So you name a vocation, we have our alumni doing extraordinarily well in every area. So we wish that our students, they get global exposure, they get the best of facilities. So that is why we are providing all these efforts in-house so that they do not land anywhere in wrong hands. Likewise, we are also starting to provide the ICE classes within the school campus, whether they are mandatory to get admission in these colleges or universities, or whether they are not. So as per the choice, as per the requirement, the students can join these IELTS classes. Similarly, we'll be conducting their psychometric test and we'll be doing analysis to help them identify that which is the best course, suiting their temperament, suiting their attitude, and suiting their academic level. And once they realize that this is the course they want to pursue further, so we'll also help them identifying the school, college, or university, as I just mentioned. And we are also setting up study abroad clinics where our in-house career counselors will help them students follow up on this entire matter. So I'm extremely glad that we have taken this lead forward. We have set up this overseas education program in our schools because I personally believe this is the need of the hour. Fine, we have to cater to the aspirations of the students. We have to see the trend. No doubt, the quality of education at DCM is one of the finest in India. Our faculty is absolutely extraordinarily talented. We have every possible resource within the house. It might be any aspect of the student education. However, we do not want to compromise, or we do not want to leave them in the open when it comes to education abroad. So we are trying to facilitate and help them in their journey from school to college and eventually to a bright career. And we want that their journey towards attainment of their higher education and towards settling down in life is a seamless journey. So for that, all these efforts are being made, and soon we'll be signing memorandum of understanding with universities in other parts of the world so that the students have wide choice. At the moment, we are offering them American high school diploma only with the Houghton Academy because it is the best institution to pursue their high school diploma. And we are also offering them understanding and guidance to study in France. So thank you very much, all of you, for your patient listening, for being a part of DCM, for believing in us, for trusting us. And I'm sure that through all of you who have joined here today, we reach out to every single child, and we do not allow any child to get into any wrong course or wrong place, which might be counterproductive for in furtherance of the child's further career growth. So thank you very much, and I am extremely hopeful and optimistic that this overseas education program being launched here today will be beneficial for the students, and it will be win-win situation for DCM group of schools and our partners in the United States and France and in other parts of the world, and our students, and at the same time, my word to our friends Jonathan and Tom, and our friend from Campus France. I'm very confident the quality of students which will be coming to your campuses, they'll not be lacking in any aspect. It might be communication skills or technology or the values for which our country is known for. So we are proud of our students, and they are quite a talented lot, and I'm sure that they will add value to your campuses, and they will prove to be an asset to your organization as and when they join you. And we are, as I said, that we are putting in all our efforts to provide them international exposure, to make them aware of all those social and economic aspects, to provide them not only the knowledge but also understanding and skills to tackle any situation, to guide them on problem solving skills, critical thinking skills. So at DCM, we don't want to be a school which just provides them a stereotype or education as per some rigid framework. We want to really open up We want to, unleash creativity within the students. We want to, provide them all possible resources in furtherance of their careers, as I said. And I'm sure, today's initiative of launching overseas education program will prove to be a right step in that direction. Again, my heartfelt thanks to our friends, Thomas, John, and Nidhi. I'm extremely grateful to you for joining hands with DCM, and I'm proud of all our principals, our faculty members, our leadership, which has joined us here today. And I'm sure that, with our collective efforts, with this combination of East and the West, with our, like this initiatives, which we have already taken by signing MOUs, ultimately the students, they will be benefited, and we all will be mutually proud of them. So again, thank you, and thank you, Dr. Gopan and the entire team for organizing this inaugural ceremony today. And I'm sure this is the first step, and we have miles to go. And I'd also take this opportunity to wish all of you a good health, a best of spirits, and a wonderful life ahead. So stay blessed. All the best.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your valuable thoughts. French education system is one of the best in the world. Today, we have Ms. Nidhi Chopra, who has a rich experience of over 14 years as a manager of North Zone Campus France. She guides students for a clear path to the professional growth and ultimate success in France. She has built close relationship with DCM Group of Schools. I welcome Ms. Nidhi Chopra to share her views about the French higher education arena and the opportunities available for Indian students. I welcome you, Ms. Nidhi.
Thank you so much, Shitaya, for the warm welcome. Good afternoon, DCM management and faculty members, and a very good morning to the guests who have joined from US. Also, I welcome the viewers who are here today. So I'm glad to be a part of the DCM platform once again, and especially on the overseas education program, and share my thoughts. Since time is short today, so I'll quickly move to the slides. I have few slides, won't take much of the time. Yes, so all right. I'll give you the introduction about what Campus France is all about. And this is a picture from the students who met the President of France during his visit to India in 2018. And he interacted with the students from the different universities in Delhi. And this is the message he gave to the young students, professionals, that France is ready to welcome, be it for your educational project, be it for your future professional project. So the students, the professionals, young entrepreneurs should choose France. So this is the message he has given. And yes, so the next slide talks about the Campus France, what we are, how we work, and what services we provide. So like it's mentioned before also, Campus France is a French government organization. This is established by the Ministry of Education Affairs and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in France to work outside France. So in India, Campus France has 12 offices in different cities, and we work directly under the umbrella of French Embassy in India. What we do, we help the student in deciding their study plan. So we have whole lot of French institutes, universities, grande écoles, specialized schools with us. So depending on the student's profile, we help the student choosing the right school, right university, right college, keeping in mind his capabilities and interest. We do organize various sessions on CV and SOP writing. So like every student needs to work out on the CV when it is coming to applying abroad or any other institution, college, university, or anything at the work front. So we guide the students through working on their CVs and SOPs. And of course, last but not the least, we also help the students in preparing their application for visa. So the student visa, the long-term, there are two types of student visas for France. One is for a short stay, which is less than 90 days for a summer program or for a short exchange program. And one is for a long, when you are going for bachelor's or master's or anything which is beyond 90 days, your stay. So we do each and every process concerning the student visa for a student, be it making an application at the consulate, be it preparing for the accommodation, be it preparing the other documentation. So we can say that Campus France is a one-stop shop to help the student right from the beginning in deciding the career project, in deciding the educational project, till the time student is in France. So this is the working, and this is how we assess the students at Campus France. Can we have the next slide, please? Yes, to give you introduction about France. France is a part of European Union. So we have more than 27 countries in the European Union, and France borders to many countries like Italy, Switzerland, Spain, Belgium, Germany. So when you are choosing to go to France, it's going to be your whole European experience, not just an experience of being in France. You can travel to all the EU countries without any restrictions on borders, and you can have your studies maybe in French universities and maybe plan to do your internship or your work in some other European country without any hesitation on any restrictions on your visa. So basically what we introduce to you is the whole European experience. And you can be in France in any part of the country. So here we have a few cities like Paris. We all know about Paris. We all know about Eiffel Tower. We all know France is the birthplace for fashion. We all know Europe is the hub of technology, and France and Germany are the leaders for that, be it Airbus base. So be it culinary, be it gastronomy. So we all always think about France. And be it architecture, we have one great example of a city close to us, which is Chandigarh. It's an example of Le Corbusier architecture, who was from France. So it's not just about fashion, it's not just about tourism. You can think of France beyond that. Can we have the next slide? All right, talking about the bilateral relations between the two countries, we all know there's a lot happening at the political level. We talk about the Rafale jets, we all know about the scientific and the technological collaborations that are happening. In fact, the 2021 is the year which is going to be celebrated as the year dedicated to environment, climate change, and sustainable development between India and France. At the economic level, we have more than 500 French companies who are in India, and we have over 1,000 collaborations, the tie-ups, the agreements that are going on between the Indian and the French corporates. In terms of education, we also have to share you something very important and of significant value to the forthcoming students. There's this agreement that is signed between the two countries, France and India, in terms of mutual recognition of academic qualifications. So what this is all about, this agreement was signed in 2018, again during the visit of the President of France to India. And this is the agreement which India has signed only with France. So what this agreement talks about, let's discuss in the next slide. So when we say mutual acceptance or mutual recognition of degrees from both the countries, it means that the students who appear for 12th class in India, be it CBSE board or any state recognized board, is equivalent to baccalaureate in France. Their baccalaureate is their 12th. Similarly, our bachelor's is equivalent to their licence, which is their bachelor's, and our master's, their master's, and their master's, our master's, and similarly, PhD is equivalent to the doctoral studies. So how it is going to benefit to the student? So we have heard quite a lot of times from our near and dear ones that, sometimes if we do a 3 years bachelor's from India and our 3-year bachelor's is not equivalent to the bachelor's in a country we intend to go, then they might have to do a foundation year. They might have to do one additional year to make them equivalent to their bachelor's, and then further to it, then they start with the master's. So here the benefit is whether in India we are doing a 3 years bachelor's for some courses or a 4-year bachelor's with some courses, like we have engineering 4 years, but management 3 years, but then this would lead to finally to a master's degree, and you don't have to spend extra year in making yourself eligible to the same level of degrees in the country you are planning to go. So, and on the vice versa side, if you study bachelor's or master's or any degree from France, if you come back to India, you will get the full recognition of your degrees back in India by AIU. AIU is the Association of Indian Universities. So you have full recognition, full authentication of the degrees, which you do it from France back in India. So this is the plus point if you plan to study in France, or whether you want to come back to India or you plan to move to any other part of the world, your degrees will have full-fledged value and recognition. Next slide. All right, so as a student, one can look for various universities and institutes in France. We have public universities, like we have public universities, the name itself says it, they are state-run, government-run, public-funded universities. We do have grandes écoles. In French, we call it grandes écoles, but grandes écoles are pretty much similar to, we have IITs and IIMs in India. So we can call them professional education, like management and engineering colleges. We do have School of Art and Design. Then for architecture, we have specialized schools in France where you can study architecture studies, and then engineering schools. So likewise, you can choose to go to any college, institution, depending on your choice of the institute and the profile you have, or in a university. The study cost in a university in France is very reasonable. As we say it, they are public universities. They are funded by the government of France. And as an international student, you also pay very less amount if you plan to study in a public university in France. The whole fee structure would be, it can be similar to as what you pay in India to going to any good college or an institute for your bachelor's or master's studies. You can also plan to study in engineering schools. There's one particular difference in France as compared to the engineering schools in India. You have in one engineering school, 1 or 2 specializations taught. Unlike we have it in India, one engineering college will offer you different specializations, whether it is related to IT, electronics, mechanical, anything. But in France, we have maximum 1 specialization offered in 1 school, or 2, not more than that. Next. As a student, what benefit one can have? Yes, we just spoke about subsidized tuition fee if you plan to study in different universities, and even in colleges also. It's about you pay 1/3 of the tuition fee if you intend to choose to go to any of the international destination. You can compare the fee structure. It is very less in France. We do have student housing support. We call it cruise residences. When we say cruise residences, they are also the government residences, which are available in almost every city of France. So irrespective of any institute you are going to, you can apply to the cruise housing. Like in India, we also know that the government hostels are very reasonable as compared to the private accommodation which is available. So similarly, the cruise housing comes out to be very reasonable. And on top of it, every student, irrespective of any program, irrespective of any level of studies he's going to, is eligible for CAF subsidy, which is given on the rent you are paying, whether at the private residence accommodation or at the cruise housing or any other place you have taken it on rent. So we normally say that it is about 25 to 35% of your rent automatically get back in your account every month, and every student is going to get it. So no matter which program, which stream, which level of studies, which institute you are going to, but in some cases it can even go up to 50%. The other day I was doing one Instagram session with the alumni, and he just mentioned that he got 50% of CAF, which is a great help as a student. And further to it, every student is eligible for working part-time, which is coming out to be 19.5 hours per week. And on vacations, one can work full-time. And also every program in France comes up with an internship opportunity. So when we are saying internship, you can work full-time and you would get a good amount of stipend every time you do your internship. So these are the benefits apart from your regular subsidized tuition fee. And then as a student, one has a lot of benefits for travel, for going to different restaurants, cafeterias. Entry to museums is free. There's one weekend fixed every month, for students. They can have an access to the museums at free of cost. So these are the benefits for a student. Can I have the next slide? So it's general. One can, for public universities, one can only apply through Campus France, and for any other college institute, one can apply individually on the institution's website. Next slide. We have a lot of scholarships from the French government. So we can talk in detail about these scholarships, but then this is what I would like to say, that we have our flagship program called the Charpak Scholarship Program, which comes for 3 different purposes: for exchange, for lab, as well as for the master's program. And you get a stipend of 700 euros per month if one gets this scholarship. So we have a lot of scholarships from other foundations as well. I won't go in detail because this is a general idea I would like to give to you about the scholarships. So can we have the next slide quickly? I will just need, I think, 4 or 5 minutes more to finish the session. Next slide. Like I mentioned in the beginning, we have over 1,000 agreements, partnerships going on with the different, the agreements with the India and the French corporates, and giving you few names on the French companies that are present in India. We come across these names on our everyday basis, but we might not know it. So L'Oreal, we all know Decathlon, Michelin, Total Lubricants, Renault, it's in the automobile sector, Dassault, and Capgemini. So these are the few French names. So these companies are definitely looking for the talent who have experienced both the cultures. So even if you plan to study from France and if you wish to come to India, these companies are ready to welcome you, open handedly. So this is the benefit. You can get it with the different collaborations that exist between India and France. Next. We at Campus France are not going to leave our students alone after they take up their studies in France. They became and they remain the ambassadors of France throughout. So this is how the French Alumni Network works for every student. This supports the student community a lot, and this also helps them in having the professional opportunities later on as well. Next. Now, what are the post-study visa opportunities? This is going to be the last slide. Yes, every student, every parent is keen to know what benefits one can have it after studying from France. So I would say every student who is going to go for a master's degree in France, or for bachelor's and master's or PhD, either master's or PhD, is eligible for a 2-year APS visa. APS visa is the authorization to stay in France. If one can have a job right after the finishing of their degree, of course they would get a work visa, professional visa, and they can be in France as long as they have a working contract. This is in an unusual scenario like the one we have it in 2020. We all are, in pandemic situation, and we all are struggling with it. So the students who graduated in 2020, they might not have, the opportunity of, getting a job right after their studies. So this kind of visa, this kind of opportunity helped those students a lot. If you don't have a job right after your studies, you can have a 2 years, 1+1 year extended stay in France and look for a job. So if you have a job in France within 1 year, you don't need another extension of 1 year. And if you don't have it in 1 year, you have 1 more year to look for a job. This way, in 2 years, you can avail the opportunity of planning your professional career in France. And once you have a job, you can be there as long as you want. This is for those students who would like to be in France or in Europe for their future professional career. Now there would be many students who would be moving out of the country or the continent, keeping in mind their working engagement, or for some it would be like they would like to come back to India after their studies. For them also, there is another opportunity called a 5-year alumni visa. This is a 5-year short stay multiple visa. This is a multiple entry visa. They can be in France whenever they want. This visa helps them to stay connected with the France, with the country, with the people, with the community. And this visa is also extended to their family members. And in 5 years, if they plan to revert and go back to France and look for a professional career in France, they can still do that with this. So these are the post-study opportunities wherein, as a country in France, we not only ask you to take up your educational project, but you can have your future professional life in France too, and be a part of the French community. Next, this is the end of the presentation. Here are my contact details. So in case the student would like to know more, the parent would like to know more about studies in France, you are welcome to write to us or call us. We are working remotely now. Our offices, are not open yet, but we are on a work from home mode. So we are more than happy to take your queries. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Nidhi, for exploring us with wider knowledge of what higher education in France and subsidies provided by the government and internship programs, etc. Houghton Academy provides DCM students an opportunity to do dual diploma program while pursuing their CBSE board studies. And we have launched this program a few months ago. Today, we have with us Mr. Jonathan Ritz, Head of School Houghton Academy, and Mr. Thomas Gilsey, the Vice Chancellor. the Vice President, Global Exchange Program, and they will give insight to the US Dual Diploma Program. Over to you, Mr. Jonathan.
You're muted, Jonathan. You're muted.
Is that better?
John.
Can you hear me
Yeah.
now? There you
Yeah.
go. I think what truly a wonderful international opportunity for an international education is as we combine this, and students studying in DCM schools can pick up a U.S. diploma and then look at which will be respected, highly respected in France as well, and then look at pursuing their postgraduate education in France. What a great opportunity. I want to give you an overview of Houghton Academy. We have a rich tradition, founded over 130, I think it's 138 years ago, as a private independent school. In late 1950s, I think it was 58, Houghton Academy started to accept international boarding students. And so over 63 years now, we have accepted international boarding students. Our last count is just over 60 schools or 60 nations have been represented from India and China, Vietnam, South Korea, Iran, Middle Eastern, African, South American, European countries. It's a rich tradition, a very highly respected school. And we are absolutely thrilled to be able to partner with the DCM group of schools, the students at DCM group of schools, and their families that they represent. It's an absolute thrill for us, and we're very excited about the opportunities. What I'm going to do is just give you an overview of some of the different programs we have. Well, I think one of Houghton Academy's strengths is our flexibility, and we've been talking with this with our international partners now for years. We have the flexibility today to basically craft an educational program that works for essentially every student, whether it's on site here at Houghton Academy as an international boarding student. We do have U.S. students that come to us from all over the country to board here as well as a day school population. So there is truly an international feel to our school. But we have the opportunity to share or to blend both the on-site with an online program now, whether it's even components of a particular school year, 2 different online options that we have available, or students in some cases may begin their work online and then transition to be on site here down the road. I'm going to share, I know it's going to take just a moment, but I think it gives you a good overview of Houghton Academy. And so I am going to share this video. It's about 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes, and then we'll go through and pick up and further explore a few other things.
Established in 1883 and nestled in the quiet rolling hills of Allegheny County in western New York, Houghton Academy is a Christian boarding and day school preparing its students to live authentically, learn deeply, lead globally, and love boldly for the glory of God. A hub of cross-cultural assimilation, Houghton Academy is a safe, cooperative, and collaborative world-class learning environment where American and international students are given the support and tools to learn and grow alongside one another.
The mission of Houghton Academy is to offer young people a college preparatory education within the framework of a Christian worldview. Even though some may say it's in the middle of nowhere, we use the phrase, we're in the middle of everywhere. The world is coming through Houghton Academy from many countries and many cultures.
A learning community where doing one's best is the expectation for all. Houghton Academy relates a Christian worldview to every subject while focusing on the mentoring of students' needs talents, and individual growth. The Academy's small class sizes give young men and women great freedom to form strong bonds and learn their way while developing their own unique relationship with God.
Students come here to Houghton Academy from across the globe in order to learn English and get ready for an English university education. Our local students, conversely, are learning from the international students by the fact of their being here. We believe our school offers a dual emphasis depending upon where the students originate. And the fluidity and fluency culturally is offered to both of those groups in a blended atmosphere. A student who is looking for a connection to a college atmosphere, this is a small town, yet we have a college, Houghton College, nearby. Our students develop tremendous opportunities by use of the college facilities. So if a student is looking for a multifaceted experience, they will get it here at Houghton Academy.
Classroom management styles may vary, and teaching methodologies range from lectures to labs, but across the entire curriculum, Houghton teachers share a commitment to first-rate education, and students who succeed at the Academy have a long, storied history of going on to succeed in college and life.
The teaching philosophy of Houghton Academy is reflected in two essential questions. First, where is God in all this? And how do we respond to the challenges of our day? We ask students to take the knowledge that we give them, reason, their hearts, their imaginations, and to take that knowledge out into the world to minister to others, to bless others. And that's the job of the teachers here. We have kids whose families who have experienced genocide, the real threat of terrorism, economic instability, closely guarded political systems, and they send their kids here for nurturing, for knowledge, for development of personal responsibility, all within a very gentle, friendly atmosphere. And I think we succeed in giving them that. We see students who come feeling nervous, uptight, not knowing the culture or the language, and they come here and they're greeted with warmth and by adults who really care.
Spiritually, it has helped me create a personal relationship with God that I never had prior to coming to this school. Intellectually, because I'm not only just learning about the academics, which are great, but I'm also learning about the different cultures and just the way of living around the world. So even though it's a small town, you really get to see parts of the world that you wouldn't ever get to experience in another school.
What I like best about being at Houghton Academy is the after-school curricular activities and all the stuff I can do while I'm in school. From helping the community, to sports, to the music programs, there's always something for that I can do. The friendships that I've created, I will hold dearly for the rest of my life.
The best part of my job is working to create scholar servants in my students. I love being greeted by them in the morning with these big wide-eyed smiles. I love seeing the light go on when they finally get something that I've been trying to teach them. And I get really excited when I see their accomplishments. It's just the best ever.
We need to develop God-given abilities of our students. We need to focus them on opportunities for service. We think that that is embodied in a whole person education, and we believe that by being cross-culturally competent and fluid and fluent, we are preparing them for this century, the 21st century.
Great schools impact and transform students' lives so they can make a positive influence on society. If you're seeking a culture committed to providing students with the opportunity to develop intellectually, spiritually, socially, and ethically, learn more today about Houghton Academy. Live, learn, lead, love. For information on admissions or to schedule a visit, go to houghtonacademy.org or call 585-567-8115. Established in...
Like I said, we offer a tremendous, am I muted? No, I'm okay. We offer a tremendous amount of flexibility, especially in the past year as we've dealt with this pandemic. The opportunity to provide an online program We have two options here. I'm not going to get into it too much, but both a full-time online program, which I will detail to some extent a little bit later, but also a streaming option that we developed just this year in response to the pandemic. A number of our international students were unable to returned home when we locked down last spring, and were unable to return. And so to ensure that they were able to graduate, actually our valedictorian this year is graduating. She's home studying in China right now. We provided a live stream where students both overseas, also some students across the US, stream in live daily to our classes. And so they still get to interact with their teachers, their classmates on a daily basis. So we have two options there. And then the dual diploma that has been discussed, I will offer more details about that. We're able to work with students and families. We do that currently and have done it for years to create a program and a course of study that works for them. In doing so, we're going to look at the course of study that each student has experienced or been through, looking at their mark sheets. We have a tradition here, or ability to basically credit students with the coursework that they have completed in their home school, whether they come here on campus or join us online after their sophomore, junior year. We look at their abilities, their strengths, their weaknesses. We look at their aspirations, their goals for university study or postgraduate study. And together with our Director of Guidance, Student Success, we will develop an individual plan for each of the students. A history of Houghton Academy students being accepted at some of the best universities in the United States, Princeton, Cornell. This is the class of 2020. My daughter's graduating year, my second daughter, with the schools that they have been matriculated at in yellow. Our SAT and ACT scores there over the past, I think, 2 years, an average which is highly competitive. Our graduation requirements, we don't need to spend a lot on. We do make an adjustment for those online and reducing the social science requirement from 4 to 3. Some of the highlights of our academic program, and this impacts and is true for both on-site and our online programming. Over 120 regular course options, and the number far exceeds that when you take into consideration the courses offered here on campus, as well as those available through our online program. We offer 5 world languages that you see there. An extensive offering of AP courses, just about any AP course a student would choose to study. A unique thing that Houghton Academy and many U.S. high schools today are now involved in is what we call a dual credit course. These are college courses taught by Houghton Academy teachers, in some cases, people that are affiliated with these universities. But this is done both on site here and through our online program. Students can select from course offerings from these universities from across the country, California to Boston, New York City, 2 local universities, Houghton, which is next door to us right here. The value of this is students earn, not only do they earn high school credit, we have students that take AP or dual credit chemistry through our university here. They earn both high school credit, but also college credit, which has been widely accepted at universities in my experience, both here at Houghton Academy and the public school for over 20 years. Most dual credits are accepted by universities across the United States. Don't know overseas as much, but sometimes we even see ability for these to be accepted and given credit for, where in some cases the AP courses may not. But it's nice to be able to offer both options. This is a great way to cut costs. We have students that regularly enter college as a freshman with 20 to 30 college credits already under their belt that saves parents. It's going to save me a semester worth of tuition at college for 2 girls right now. One of the highlights that I think is so important is the individualized attention we're able to give each student when it comes to their college, their planning for college, exploration of college options, and then the application process. Each student that comes to Houghton Academy, whether it's through Houghton Academy online or on site, our guidance counselor, our director of guidance and student success will develop a personalized education plan for each student. We'll look at their interests, their aptitudes. We talked about the psychometric approach that you are taking there at DCM schools to explore interests and abilities. We will take that into account through our selection of the courses they're going to study, both in high school or dual credit or AP. We will find the opportunities both for their students on site, but also online to set up college visitations, make sure testing requirements are met for admissions to the school of interest. There are opportunities for students to do internship placements. And then we will work with students from the beginning of the application process right through the end. Additionally, online, we offer a series of 9 college counseling courses that you can see there, everything from that exploration part to finishing, preparing for testing and finishing strong to financing college. Those are 8-week courses, basically earned a half credit. It's an 8-week course that is extremely valuable to our students. I want to talk a little bit about, for those that are interested in being here on site as a boarding student. Again, I said before, we have welcomed students from over 60 nations. I think our best count is 62 to 63. We have 2 options for those students. We have dormitory housing, whether they be in a dorm, possibly with a roommate on campus, or some students choose a homestay where they would live with a host family. The host family would provide meals, transportation to and from school, and support the student just as if they're one of their own students. This is a lot of the homestay families that we have, not all of them, but are within walking distance of campus in a small town here in Western New York. With our boarding students, there's always activities going on, and the weekends usually some sort of fun, exciting thing, whether it's shopping, college visitations. This just 2-3 weeks ago, we took a group of students out to Cleveland Cavaliers professional basketball game. Niagara Falls, a visitation Niagara Falls, other types of activities. We're right next door to a college, so our students have the opportunity to view college events. During scheduled breaks, we have fantastic trips planned. Varies from year to year. A week in Disney World, a week in Washington, D.C., entertaining even the possibility of a Hawaii trip, where students that choose not to go home during their breaks but are staying here, they're not stuck here in Houghton. We're gonna travel and visit places across the United States. Talk a little bit about Houghton Academy Online. We are partnering with Oaks Christian online. Oaks Christian is probably one of the most highly respected online programs in the United States, consistently a reference up there with the Princeton online program. An exceptional, it's a very rigorous, high-level program, definitely to prepare students for college. We're an accredited school. We're approved by NCAA. We have had students leave here and play Division II college athletics as well. Just how does our online program, due to the international audience that we work with, our online program is going to be largely asynchronous, meaning students are going to work independently. There is a live component, which we feel is so important each week. Students will meet live with their teacher and their classmates. It's an interactive opportunity for them to connect, whether it's going into breakout rooms and some group work, or it's a lecture or a video or just discussion. But a lot of the work is going to be offline, online or offline, just largely due because of the time constraints with students from all over the world. Teachers will have scheduled office hours, so teachers are accessible weekly. This will be established with students, so the students know Dr. So-and-so is available for my chemistry class. Dr. So-and-so is available on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4. All weekly live sessions are recorded because we do understand that some students will miss, even in the normal course of events, whether it's a doctor appointment or feeling ill. Some of our students are involved in athletics outside of school and have very intense training schedules, so we are recording those lessons to be viewed later or reviewed if need be. Through our online system, we use the Canvas Learning Management System. There's a brief video here, but basically this is a dashboard where a student can access all their courses. They will go through this to see assignments, to get dialogue back and forth with the teacher, have content and work assigned. I'm not going to take the time at this point to go through that video, which just is walking you through what this dashboard and the different parts of it are. For the dual diploma, what we have done is we have worked with DCM Group of Schools to look at a sampling of mark sheets for students in grades 11, 12, looking at the course of study over 4 years. And we have matched that, done a crosswalk between the typical course of study for a DCM student and our graduation requirements, which you saw earlier. And we, in general, and again, this is going to be dependent upon each student's mark sheets, but in general, we have come to the determination that the students an additional 3 credits will fulfill our graduation requirements. So this is a sample, but this is a pretty accurate sample of what a student's course of study for 3 credits. And I'll explain this a little bit more. And 3 credits starting the end of the summer between your sophomore and junior year, finishing the summer between your junior and senior year, the student would earn 3 credits, which then at the conclusion of 12th grade in the DCM school would qualify that student for a Houghton Academy diploma. Our summer sessions are 8-week sessions, and to avoid conflict with the normal school year's course of study and the responsibilities and requirements that your students have, we want to take advantage of the summer sessions, usually early June to early August. The start of the school year is usually the 2nd week of August. But this allows the student to earn, they can do 2 half-credit courses. I would say that would be the limit. It's because, again, this is you're taking a whole semester course and plugging it into 8 weeks. It's a very ambitious, aggressive program. So 2 half-credits courses would probably be the most we would want to see a student do. So they'd earn a credit here between their 10th and 11th year during the school year, a grammar composition course, which is a full credit course throughout the year. Again, you're meeting 1 day a week, and then most of the work is independent. And then this is just going to supplement the English instruction your students have already had. And then they would finish their the summer between their junior and their senior year with these 2 programs. They have a choice options here, 2 electives in the area of social science, either economics or psychology. There's obviously flexibility if a student chose to take economics. In that summer, they could do that. And then government before their senior year. 3 credits. In some cases, it may require more. Students obviously have the option to pick up additional courses if that was their interest. So why an online program like Houghton Academy? You can study while you're living at home, studying in your own current school, and at the same time, simultaneously for 3 additional credit hours, earn a U.S. high school diploma, which adds value to your resume as you're looking to apply to university. We have a very extensive course offering list. The college and career preparatory education, highly respected. Our students, again, are gaining admissions to the best colleges across the United States. We will support the students from the day they start through their application process and selection to university of their choice. The flexibility we offer for students, whether it's in India or China or in our African nations that we work with, the opportunity to study and work with the time differences that everyone is dealing with. Our teachers are accessible, as I said, with scheduled office hours. I don't think that there's going to be a concern ever that a student doesn't have the opportunity to communicate, talk, and work with their teachers. Dual credit is a wonderful opportunity that allows students to build college credits, maybe take care of prerequisite courses. It's a phenomenal opportunity intellectually, but it also is a great way to shave costs off your college tuition. One thing I do want to say is in our online program, we are offering for a student that joins us online in this current era, it's very advantageous. But a student wants to join us online, our full-time online program, for example, probably the best way to explain this is give you a specific example. Full-time online program is $7,499. That's our tuition. We're offering 100% dollar for dollar scholarship. So if a student joins us this fall for a full-time online program at $7,499 tuition, they decide they want to transition to be on site on campus the following year, we will credit them a dollar for dollar credit off their tuition for that future year. So if a student, and we're doing this up to 2 years. So a student wants to study for 2 years online, year 3, their senior year, they decide they're going to come and be on campus, they would be credited what, 15,000, just under 15,000 against the tuition costs of that year. It's a wonderful opportunity to make this very affordable. One thing I do want to say as far as on-site, Houghton Academy, throughout, we have been in full-time regular school session since August when we started. We were the only school in our area here in Western New York that I'm aware of that has remained COVID-free. We have not had one positive case of COVID. We're in a small town, college town. We have COVID issues around us, just like everyone does. But we have had the pleasure, the blessing to have our students on campus throughout the whole school year, masked, social distancing, all the precautions. And we've even run athletic programs currently in the playoffs for volleyball. And we're competing with schools across the area. But we're very proud to say that even though we've been here full-time, not a hybrid system, we have not had a single positive case of COVID. So I think there's information on application both on the Houghton Academy website, but Houghton Academy online website. Here's some email and contact information. Facebook, you can get to us through the DCM Facebook page as well. All right, guys, should I turn it back over to you?
Thank you, Mr. Jonathan, for sharing your views and taking all of us towards your amazing campus where international students unite and work collaboratively. I would like to invite Mr. Thomas Gussie to share his views on US Dual Diploma Program. Over to you, Mr. Thomas.
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. I'm not going to talk long. I think Jonathan summed it up pretty good, but I'll just say that Global Student Exchange, we're an international study abroad organization. Since 2009, we've worked with our international partners, contacts overseas to identify and place qualified secondary high school students in the U.S. at private boarding and day schools across the country. Houghton Academy is one of the best schools, so that's why we're working with them here to offer the online program as well. Most countries around the world have participated in the program except for India at the high school level. And so that's something we want to change, and that's where we partnered with DCM to make that happen. So many students could take advantage of this opportunity, especially since their long-term goals are to come to the United States and attend the university of their choice. Via the traditional brick and mortar study abroad program or this online program is going to give them that capability and opportunity to do that. The online program is a little more affordable and flexible, where they could do it in less time. However, the traditional study abroad, where they come on campus, offers a whole lot more than just a diploma. The whole cultural aspect of it, they can actually learn the educational system and travel around the U.S. to visit the colleges and universities that they want to attend upon graduation. So we really are excited to work with everyone here and to get students from India involved in both programs, beginning now with the online program starting in June, and then the fall semester for the 2021-2022 academic year. That's it. I don't want to waste any more time, but I really appreciate the opportunity, and we look forward to working with everyone. So if you got any questions, please feel free. Jonathan and I can answer anything.
Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas. It's a gratitude that brings us happiness. No matter what language you speak, a kind and smiling thank you always speaks to everyone's heart. I welcome Dr. Gopan Gopalakrishnan to deliver a vote of thanks.
Great, thank you, Hidaya. So it was a wonderful session. So today we launched our overseas education program. So you have heard, I'm sure that all our students, teachers, and and senior management team, all of us were listening to our guest speakers today. First from Nidhi Chopra, who explained about wonderful opportunities during the studies and even after studies, about the stay back visa and including family visa and everything, all the opportunities available there. As well as the Houghton Academy, our friends from America, they also explained the wonderful possibilities. It is one point I want to add here is the Houghton Academy diploma is not only if you're looking for higher studies in United States. So if you have a US dual diploma degree, this overall your chances of getting admission in high level universities, top level universities around the world, whether it's in US, Canada, or in Europe, this will, you will have an enhanced, chances of getting admitted in par with the local students if you go for this program. So it was a wonderful session. I would like to, thank all our viewers, especially our keynote speaker, our CEO, Mr. Anirudh Gupta, for delivering, as usual, a wonderful speech about the entire, the program, the goal, and the expectations and what we are going to offer to all our students. So that has been delivered. Then Mr. Jonathan Retz for the detailed description about the program, that the opportunity to either join in the online program or also subsequently move to the campus in Buffalo. And Tom, as usual, is the vice president of this Global Student Exchange. He actually brought Jonathan on board. So now we are ready to go ahead with the Houghton Academy. So thank you, Tom, to be always available day and night. You send a message and he's always available. So the complete details of the program is available now. The students, whenever we are ready, we are opening this admission drive now. The next intake is in the month of April. No, the month of June, right, John? You're on mute.
Yeah, June for the online program.
Yeah, exactly. June
and
for
then
the online program.
August for the academic year.
Right. So that will be starting. So thank you for both of you, and thank you, Nidhi, for very detailed description about all the entire programs that is available in France. And also, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to all the principals and vice principals, VP Academics and VP Senior Secondary, our students from grade 9 to 12, our class teachers and teachers who have joined. We had a little technical glitch. We announced that this will be live on Facebook, but eventually that has gone on YouTube. So maybe some of the students might have not been able to join, but this is available. Recorded session will be available. And thank you once again to all of you. And this is the end of day 1 of this Career Fest overseas education program, and with more programs that will be coming up in future. So Hidayat will give you some details about that right now. Thank you everyone for joining today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Strength.
Thank you, sir.
Where there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. I'd like to take this time to thank every one of our friends, attendees, and parents who made this launching of OEP program as a successful one. Before we close today's program, I want to inform you on day 2, that is tomorrow, we have an amazing line of speakers from University of South Australia aligned for you. Do join us at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow. Till then, I, Hidayat Nisha, signing off. Thank you.